All right, good morning, good afternoon, everybody. This is Trendy John here at Simpler Trading in the SPX room. Let's go over last week's trades. I'll talk through them. I wasn't really that busy as I was not feeling very well, still getting over my cold. But at the end of the day, overall, the trades where we had a lot more winners than we had losers continues to be sort of the theme, and I hope it stays that way, right? Watch my broad market analysis before the week starts, okay? Remember, if you are an SPX trader, which you should be if you're listening to this video, this is very important over here. This is my overall sentiment. I talk about towards the end, I really dive into the ES futures, and you guys all know I'm using my ES futures chart to help guide me going into the week. So each one of those charts are really important. The weekly, the daily, the 4-hour, our intraday charts that I share with you every single morning. All of that is super important, okay? All right, so what I started doing was putting my trades over here because I just noticed when I was trying to go through these, it's just kind of, it's time consuming, if you will. So the week started on 12/2. We came in on Monday. We sold our first butterfly at 77%. Then we got into a second butterfly. I used profits from this butterfly to buy this. It actually was doing well, but I said I didn't want to touch it. I wanted to try and pin it because I was using profits. That ended up not working out. Overall, it was profitable, but it wasn't close enough to where I would give it any credit. So I'm calling Monday as a break-even day. Tuesday, we came in, butterfly, bought one, sold one at 56%. We opened a 1 DTE swing trade, and then we opened a 3 DTE swing trade that expired on Friday. And then I opened, towards the end of the day, I opened a put in IB Broker, or Interactive Broker, looking for an overnight pull into a 30-minute zone. And I gave you those details in the alert. So again, guys, if you come up here and you take a look at the question marks, this is where you get the details of the trade if needed. If I don't put anything in there and you require more information, simply click on this question mark and put your question in there and I will answer it. So what I mean is this is the Interactive Broker. You could have come in here. You guys can see what I'm looking for in that particular trade. As soon as we took it, it actually worked out really well. I think it went up $200 a contract, but right here, read my note. Although the trade was about 50% positive, I decided to hold on to it, and that did not work out for me. And to be quite honest with you, I didn't even close it. So I wanted to put a 50% stop on it. What happened was, and this could easily happen, is because I'm using an Interactive Broker account, and I rarely use it. I've done well in there this year, and then I just left it alone. I in a bull market, anytime I buy a put, it's like a hedge for me. And sometimes I go back and I think, well, this is just a trade. Don't call it a hedge. And one of my 2025 resolution we talked about in the Trendy room on Friday was to stop doing hedges. Hedges in a bull market, they're just, I don't know, they're not great. Now, when I take long-term leap trades, I think hedges are fun. We can do really well on those, but I'm riding the trend. I'm having a good time, and then things start to feel a little weird. I buy a hedge, and when I say the word hedge, my brain just automatically computes to let it stay there no matter what. And so what I could end up doing is obviously I could have took a 50% stop and kept some of the money, but I was also doing well, right? So anyways, let's move on. Wednesday, I close the butterfly at 30%. My second butterfly, I close at 82%. I buy some calls. I make 100%. I get out of those calls. I get back into the calls on a dip, make 100%. And then I open a lotto hedge, put 1 DTE. Same thing again. Puts, 0. No, did not work, okay? So you see a little theme there with the put side. Thursday, I did an iron fly. I captured 12% of that credit received. As a reminder, I tried to get around 15 to 30%. And then I put on a 4 DTE put fly for a reversion back to a demand zone that I shared with you guys. That's the current trade or open trade that I have on right now. Fingers crossed that this one actually works. We'll see. The market is super bullish. And again, there's that word put, right? So again, puts in a bullish market. Here's my thing. You know, when you look at them and they don't work out, it's like, oh, why did I do that? But when you're not prepared and you're only on the call side and you have no puts, you get mad at yourself. See, there's no win-win here, and that's what I always tell people is you can beat the hell out of yourself for taking trades that you took and not taking trades that you didn't take. It's ridiculous. So just be a trader, take the trades, understand your allocation, and don't beat yourself up. Friday, I ended up being able to sell this iron fly. This was absolutely an incredible trade. I couldn't believe it myself. I pretty much pinned 3 days in advance, told you exactly where trade would stall out coming into this week, which I think is crazy. So even though I took 13% of the overall credit, I could have received a lot more. And that was the case with a couple of these positions up here. If I just would have held them, they would have done really, really, a lot better, I should say. All right. And then towards the end of the day, I wasn't too sure how much I want to trade on Friday, but I waited, I stayed patient. I didn't overtrade this week. And I said, you know what? Let's take some of that patience and put it towards a butterfly. We did that. We made 157%. And you guys were pretty excited. Now, listen, these are just my trades. And what I love about the room is that we have our ambassadors in here in the main chat. And that is Jasper and CJC. And these guys, and I was reading the notes. If you are not in the chat room, you better be. Because these guys are throwing out some amazing trades. I see you all making hundreds of dollars, sometimes thousands of dollars per contract. And they are teaching you how they use these spreads. And it's just absolutely incredible. So, hats off to them. Hats off to the room. All of us together as a whole. I just really, really appreciate this room. It was very inexpensive to get into, and I feel like it's just worth it. And I hope you feel like it's worth it too. If you have any feedback that you want to give me, reach out to me. So you can reach out to me at, let's see here. Let me see if I can do this. Let's put this in green. This is my email. Okay, Jonathan.McKeever@Simpler Trading. Okay, and you guys know how to spell that, simplertrading.com. All right, so that's my email. But again, I think it's really important that you understand this is just me as a type of person that I am. I prefer that you just reach out to me quickly by using X. If you do not have an X account, get one. There's nothing wrong with it. Like, just use it for the purposes of, I don't know, you follow me, you follow our traders here at Simpler. Just keep it defined, keep it focused. Don't look at all the other noise. It's just so much easier for me. I get a message, I come right over here, and because I'm always over here. So I can quickly, but I'm going to tell you, when I left the Air Force, I got away from emails. I tell you, you can email me, and I try my best to look at them, but they just feel different. And maybe it's my age. I don't know what it is, but I love if you just send me a message. Okay. So if you could just send me a quick message, I'll answer you very quickly over there. I would really, really love to see, some feedback, some input. And listen, if your feedback is, hey, I wish we would buy more calls and more puts straight up. There's a reason why I don't. It's because the market overall, when we come in during the day, if you're not holding some sort of swing trade, which in many cases we are in the form of a spread or something, is that we're chopping around a lot and the premium's just decaying very quickly. So the premium charts give you a quick entry and a quick exit. And a lot of times I want to alert things that you can hold on to. You got to understand there are hundreds of people in here. And you have to understand that not everybody's hanging out in the chat room. And the people that are hanging out in the chat room actually think that's the bulk of our people. But I'm here to tell you that's probably like 5 to 10% of the people. So there's a majority of people that are sitting, behind a desk at work, or they're out doing things. And I just think that sometimes it could be in bad taste to send out an alert that I may only be in for 3 minutes. And and I've seen a lot of you be able to take advantage of the premium charts and make a lot of money. But I want you to think about that in perspective of alerts, okay? Not saying I'm not going to do some. I will, but I'm looking more for a trend. So I'm looking for big demand zones, big supply zones on a chart, okay? So let me give you a couple examples, all right? We're going to come over here to the ES futures, and I'm going to show you what I mean. All right, so this is a weekly chart. And in the scenario that I'm talking about, I'm more directional and would love to get long, which is straight up calls, if we were to have some sort of reset where we come into a zone like this bull channel. Then I would be buying a little bit out of the money, and I would be buying time, and then I'm looking for the market to do this, and then we make up a lot of money, okay? What's happening right now is that we're coming into the days not necessarily with a swing straight up put or call on. And for example, if you just look at this as a Monday through Friday sort of thing, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, if you're not buying 1 DTEs, 2 DTEs, then you're waking up, you got the gap up, but then we pull back and you get the nice little chop action that kills the premium. So from a 0 DTE perspective, it's very difficult, all right? So into this week, my overall plan is just to use this chart here. If for some reason we were to break down, here I'm going to close the SPX puts, and it doesn't even have to drop this far. But if we were to happen to come back this far, this is where I want to buy some straight up calls and buy more than a 0 DTE, so maybe a 2 or a 3 or something like that. All right, so again, I want to buy bigger zones, and that's where I want to put my concentration on. The next thing that I would tell you is if I come into the market, all right, and I'm holding something that I am making money on, this is the part that's also I want you to understand. I'm just being, trying to be very, very clear with you, all right, is that I am giving you, okay, I'm giving you these trades, but I'm also a person. So if I come in on a Monday tomorrow, let's say the market does pull back and I make $200 a contract, I don't need to just send out an alert to take an alert, right? I'm running an entire portfolio. So this is why I put the premium charts up so that you can come in, you know where you want to concentrate and where you want to be long or where you want to be short. If you have not been able to be in the room and hang out with me and understand how to take these trades, then I want to go over this with you really quickly. So the PMZ, which I have covered in my class, the PMZ, so the premium chart itself is concentrated around the PMZ, okay? And sometimes when you come in, you'll see that I have like a level that's called support. But your primary, the setup itself is based on the PMZ. For example, this was a 60-15. This is just a past example of a put. You do not go long, meaning you don't get in the put from the PMZ intraday premium perspective. You do not enter this put unless it breaks above the PMZ. Now, if you have a big account and you want to sell credit, you'll notice that the put starts losing value when it breaks under the PMZ. You don't get in the put unless it goes above. So sometimes I'll have these levels down here, support. The support, all this means is this is where I like to see buyers come in on that specific premium, so that specific option, if you will. If they're not coming in, then no reason to buy. If you want to keep it easy and more mechanical instead of trying to guess what to do, use the premium chart and only use the PMZ, okay? Now, I go over the ES chart. So for example, if there's a, let's go to a whiteboard, if you will. Let's say over here on this side, we have my chart, okay? And there's a demand zone. And the overall trend, because my banners up here are green, okay? So the overall trend is bullish. And I'm like, hey guys, I just want to buy the dip if I can. But over here on the premium chart, you have this PMZ that looks like this, all right? And let's say that the call, let's just say that this is a 60-100 call, okay, for the day. And this is the demand zone. And say that the ESPMZ is, I don't know, right here, all right? And it starts to look like it's going to do something, and then it starts to break down, and it's only been 5 minutes in the day. I'm not doing anything over here on the 6100 call, and most likely that call is actually breaking down and not getting above the PMZ. So if we drop into this demand zone here, you might see in the alert section that now I'm going long, whether it be calls, put credits, butterflies, straight up calls, it doesn't matter. I am a supply and demand trader. So my primary focus is on supply and demand. The intraday premium chart is a mechanical approach for a better entry based off of a box that allows you to understand what your risk is, where your targets are, what your stop should be if you want to apply a stop. If you do not understand this process, please go to the dashboard of the SPX room and watch the video from about 5 weeks ago when we first started. I did it on a Thursday night. I go over all of this with you. All right. So again, these premium charts are there for traders who might want a little bit more and are a little bit more enthusiastic. They want to take more than several trades a day. They give you the ability to take action. All right. So just know that. And again, it's been about a month, right, that we've been here. And about this time, you should be getting comfortable with the overall structure of the room. But let me leave you at this. Again, if you want to give me some feedback, just reach out to me. Many of you have. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for your support. And I look forward to having a more and better profitable week this coming week. Have a good one.